Hey folks, it's Lindsey Huddleston with SPS back in the building over at Belleville High School, home of the Tigers. I'm sitting here with my guy, Coach Adam Trumpour, head coach of the Belleville Tigers. Coach, how you doing? Good. I enjoy being in your practice, looking at you go through some situational drills. We talked about it earlier, but why is that so important?
You have to have guys prepared. You want the practices to be hard. You want to go over a lot of scenarios. You want to make things difficult, give them adversity and obstacles. So when those situations come up in live game action, they can relax and just play and rise to the level of their training.
Yeah. Talk about the leadership you have, player-led leadership. I know you're part of that Coach Izzo coaching tree, and is that taking place out here like you want it to take place?
Yeah, I always tell my players every year, like, player-led teams are always better than coach-led teams, and we're getting some player leadership this year. We have we have 4 3-year players.
4 3-year players.
With Woodson, with Brangi Butu, with Agabezi, and Mannon. Mm-hmm. And that's huge because they know what their expectations are.
Sure.
They've been through the trials and tribulations of playing for me and being a varsity player here at Belleville, and they can help those younger guys that are in their first or second year kind of get up to speed and meet the expectations.
Yeah, and I bet they carry that culture with them the whole time. That helps. Yeah,
the last few years we've had some real culture builders. We lost a big one who was a 4-year player, Jalen Jenkins, who's doing a great job over at Macomb Community College. They're ranked like 4th in the country now. And I keep hearing, what a great defender he is, and what a great teammate, and doing all the extra stuff. And he really set the foundation for these guys in particular, because he went from a leadership role with an older group, and then took these younger guys the previous 2 years, and a lot of what they're doing we attribute to him.
Yeah, I couldn't help but think when you mentioned Macomb Community College and their national ranking, how important is it now with the very rapidly changing landscape to see the benefits of going on to a JUCO, and it's not kind of looked down upon because the kid doesn't go strictly to a D1 Power 5 program?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a couple guys go in the last few years since the portal happened, but as some other things come to light where junior college might not count against your 4 or 5 years at the Division I or Division II level, it could definitely go more that way. And I always joke with friends of mine that coach at that level, like, you used to get all our problem children, guys that needed something, or they had to get grades right, or they had to get a little taller. I said, now you're getting my valedictorian type kids.
That is interesting.
We've got some kids. Shamar Woodson's a senior this year. He's got a 4.0, and he's got JUCOs talking to him.
Wow.
Jalen Jenkins, who we mentioned, was like a 3.8, 3.9 kid. It's a changing landscape, and opportunities are different. Guys got to go grab a hold of good ones, and we're fortunate that we've got some programs in Michigan that are really well coached and really rising. So.
Right. Well, speaking of Shamar, man, I was blown away talking to him again. The maturity, but he's quick to say, I wasn't like this when I first came in a few years ago. So talk about his trajectory, or just a player's trajectory that can kind of come in. They said he was almost running from the gym to now being a gym rat and doing all the right things.
Yeah, I think Shamar didn't know what to think of me, because I challenge the guys a little different, especially if I think you've got the potential to be a player, play at the next level. You have leadership potential. But he's a great kid. Again, 4.0, honor student, great parents and family. But yeah, he was really unsure of himself. Like, as a sophomore, we had him start working out with us a little bit late in June. He didn't really play with us much in June.
Kind of like that 5th quarter thing they talk about a little bit.
Yeah, he actually played some 5th quarter for about 10 games, and he only played freshman as a freshman player, along with a couple other guys. But we saw the potential, and we utilized that 5th quarter. But by mid-season, we were all done with that, because he was too important for us out there on the floor.
I get it. He talked about his enlightening moment when he was enlightened. He said when he moved up to varsity, he said, man, I can't just get on the floor because I score. I got to do some other things. So he talked about learning. I said, well, they talked about playing defense. Oh, good hands.
Live ball.
Talk about when the light does come on for a player.
It's that click moment. Sometimes it's, they get a few buckets in a big game, but often it's they're defending a guy who maybe isn't the position they thought they could guard. We had that moment as sophomore with Chinasa, or actually his junior year, where he's starting guards in open gyms. He was like, oh my God, I'm shutting these guys down, and now he guards 1 through 5, and that's what a lot of the college coaches really like, his versatility defensively.
Yeah, so you say I got a guy who can guard 1 through 5. They're probably more interested in that than hearing that some guy could go off if you give him X amount of shots.
I've done this over 20 years. I've never had a college coach ask me how many points a guy scores.
Coach, say that again, man. We lose sight of that. It's not about the scoring.
Yeah, they ask me things like, what position can they guard? How do they act in the classroom, in the lunchroom, on the bus? Are they a good teammate?
I mean, I'm kind of being facetious a little bit, but that just shows us how we're focused on the wrong thing. 20 years, you never heard that, but we would emphasize that as a sign of success, as a sign of opportunity, if you could just be a big scorer.
Yeah.
Where we got to go next with this, man? What do we need to do to kind of keep people locked in and focus with what they need to do right?
We're just trying to improve our consistency day by day, trying to be the best we can be, always trying to get a little, can we get 1%, 2% better today?
You see them doing it?
Yeah, we had a great week. We had no games this week, all practice. We were able to really get some days stacked for guys. We had some guys that, the consistency this week with their effort, their energy has been outstanding, and we just got to carry that into next week when we start playing again.
Well, do the Belleville fans even know that you play at home because you've been on the road so much?
I got all kinds of kids asking me in the classroom, are you guys only going to play on the road or what?
They're like,
when are you playing at home? And I'm in January, so we got 3 games next week. We got to go on the road 1 more game at Glen, and then we got 2 home games back to back. So we're excited to play. We got this brand new floor that we got redid with the big Tiger logo on there.
I love that. I like a good shot of that.
We're ready to open this place up and show it off.
Yeah. Speaking of that, you got the showcase coming up. Talk about your showcase you got coming.
Yeah, next Saturday we've got the Tiger Classic. We've got some varsity games going, but then we're going to have 3 really good varsity games. We've got Ann Arbor, Huron, and Dearborn, 2 excellent programs, well-coached programs that are going to come in and compete against each other, followed up by Ann Arbor Skyline, my former assistant, John Lamar Hamilton. And,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and a very, very good Granville team coming from the west side, and then we're going to play my buddy Mike Alley's in his first year over at Redford Thurston, so we know he's going to have them ready to play, and they'll play us in the final game.
Okay, I love it. Good thing. Any last comments to the Tiger faithful? Anything else you want to share before we let you go?
Hey, we're going to work. They're going to play exciting brand of basketball. We want you guys to get out here and watch them. We're finally going to be home after all these road games and showcases.
Well, they'll be home. We'll come on out in full force. Coach, I always appreciate you. Okay?
Appreciate you.
Yeah, with that being said, this is Lindsey Hudson with SPS, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.